Hey y'all, I went live earlier today over on YouTube, and so I started to read the Republicans' budget proposal, and I said, why don't I come and read this budget proposal live on TikTok? How y'all doing? I'm still trying to find my groove. Like I told my YouTube family this morning, I'm still very angry over the results of the election. Still very angry about that. So I'm still wanting to do the F around and find out videos. Still wanting to do the I told you videos. But I know I need to get away from that. I know I need to get focused on the midterms, 2026. And so hopefully in reading this, it'll help to get me back in the swing of things, because for them to put this out, without a thought or care, with this extremism, they are not concerned about upsetting us. They are standing confident that MAGA nuts will be there to support them in 2026. And there's more of us than there are of them. So a whole lot of people failed in 2024. A whole lot of people failed. And I'm hoping that they will see the error of their ways so that we can put a stop to this tyranny. Those of you that are, I see your comments saying that you're afraid, that you're scared. I'm right there with you. All that President Musk is doing, it's not to better the American people. It's not to better the government. It's to better himself and the millionaire and billionaire class. I just saw a small snippet. I can't stand to see her. Marjorie Taylor Greene doing an interview talking shit about Jasmine Crockett. And as she's talking shit about Jasmine Crockett, she's talking about Jasmine Crockett being incompetent, and this is why they're going to win the midterms. Confident, with a little smirk on her face. We've got to get focused on 2026. They are all overly confident. Oh, she didn't do this. They had that first Doge committee hearing yesterday, and Jasmine let loose, as she always does. As she always does. And Marjorie didn't have much to say. Hey, Queen Neffy. She saved it for her little interview after the hearing for Fox News to talk shit about Jasmine Crockett. So, I'm going to read. Let's hope the MAGA nuts don't come through. but we're going to read it. Now, the full resolution is 45 pages long, but I would say 25 of those pages, there's nothing really on it. There's nothing really on it. So I just want you to understand what the plan is to cut from the budget and what they plan on adding to the budget. So the resolution reads, this is their, where is it? The budget resolution for the 119th Congress. And it reads, establishing the congressional budget for the United States government for fiscal year 2025 and setting forth the appropriate budgetary levels for fiscal years 2026 through 2034. So this is for the budget, but it's setting the levels for future fiscal years. Okay? Resolved by the House of Representatives, the Senate concurring. So the House of Representatives currently is majority Republican. Okay? Majority Republican. So Section 1, concurrent resolution on the budget for fiscal year 2025. Declaration, the Congress determines and declares that prior concurrent resolutions on the budget are replaced as of fiscal year 2025, and that this concurrent resolution establishes the budget for fiscal year 2025 and sets forth the appropriate budgetary levels for fiscal years 2026 through 2034. So what they are proposing for 2025, the way I'm reading this, it carries through to 2026 through 2024. So it goes into the table of contents for this concurrent resolution is as follows. Section 1, concurrent resolution on the budget for fiscal year 2025. Recommended levels and amounts. That's Title 1. Title 2, reconciliation and related matters. Reconciliation in the House of Representatives. Title 3, reserve fund. Reserve fund for reconciliation legislation in the House of Representatives. Title 4, policy statements. Policy statement on economic growth. Policy statement on mandatory spending reduction. Title 5, other matters. Enforcement filing in the House of Representatives. Budgetary treatment of administrative expenses in the House of Representatives. Application and effective changes and allocations, aggregates, and other budgetary levels. Adjustments to reflect changes in concepts and definitions in the House of Representatives. Adjustment for changes in the baseline. Exercise of rule-making powers. Title 1, recommended levels and amounts. Section 1001. Hold on, y'all. I was logged out. Section 1001, recommended levels and amounts. The following budgetary levels are appropriate for each of fiscal years 2025 through 2024. And so that's where, hey, everybody coming in, that's where they had all of these pages listing all of these different things, and there really was no information into it. So I'm skipping down to page 34, where it goes into Title 2, reconciliation and related matters, Section 2001, reconciliation in the House of Representatives. Submissions no later than March 27, 2025. The committees named in subsection B and subsection C shall submit their recommendations on changes in laws within their jurisdictions to the Committee on the Budget of the House of Representatives to carry out this section. Instructions. 1. Committee on Agriculture. The Committee on Agriculture shall submit changes in laws within its jurisdiction to reduce the deficit by not less than $230 billion for the period of fiscal years 2025 through 2024. So the Committee on Agriculture, the House of Representatives, is asking them to cut their budget for 2025 through 2024 by $230 billion. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Yes, they are setting the budget from 2025 through to 2034. Okay. Next, Committee of Armed Services. The Committee of Armed Services shall submit changes in laws within its jurisdiction that increase the deficit by not more than 100, I think this is trillion dollars. So they want to cut the budget, the agricultural budget, by 230 billion and increase armed services by 100 trillion dollars. You hear me? You hear me? Committee on Education and Workforce. The Committee on Education and Workforce shall submit changes in laws within its jurisdiction to reduce the deficit by not less than $330 billion. So we're increasing armed services by 100 trillion. And so far, agriculture they want agriculture cut by 230 billion and education cut by 330 billion. Okay? Okay? All right. Moving on. Committee of Energy and Commerce. Reduce the deficit. I'm not reading all in the fluff in the beginning. What they want them to do is reduce the deficit by $800 billion. So we're reducing energy, we're reducing agriculture, we're reducing education by hundreds of billions, and we're increasing armed services, that's our military, by 100 trillion. Committee of Financial Services. The Committee on Financial Services shall submit changes in laws within its jurisdiction to reduce the deficit by not less than $1 billion. So financial services, yes, trillion, yes. This is from fiscal years 2025 to 2034. So they can cut 100 billion this year, 100 million this year, or 100 million that year, or 50 million this year. Y'all get what I'm saying? But they are steadily cutting from these budgets, from these divisions, from these areas. And I would say adding it to armed forces. Committee of Homeland Security. They want to increase that by $90 billion. $90 billion. Homeland Security gets an increase. Armed Services gets an increase. So far, everything else, what did I say? Agriculture, Department of Education, energy, they all get cut. They all get cut. Committee on the Judiciary. This is our federal judges. This is our federal judges, federal attorneys, all across the United States. Increase the deficit by $110 billion. So we're going to increase the judiciary. All of this is related to the legal stuff, the judges. And we're going to increase Homeland Security, and we're going to increase our military. Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. See, this is when people were saying, why do we need DOGE? Because we already have an oversight committee. Why do we need DOGE? Okay, so they want to reduce the budget / deficit of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee by $50 billion. Why? Why? Committee on Transportation. Reduce the deficit by $10 billion. I have to look at these zeros, y'all. $10 billion. So whatever funding they provide from the federal level for transportation, maybe improving our roads. I would think that our airports would have funding coming from this pot of money. Yeah, they want to reduce that deficit by $10 billion. Now listen, I could be getting some of these zeros, and I may be off by billion or trillion. Forgive me. But I will provide a link to this budget on my Blue Sky and on my Threads. And you can go over and you can download it and share it on your platforms, or you can open it up and read it for yourself, okay? Because, yeah, I'm looking at all these zeros and I'm quickly counting up these zeros in my head, and I could be off. Billion / trillion, okay? So transportation, they want to reduce that by $10 billion. Committee on Ways and Means, they want to increase that by $4.5 trillion. So far, what has gotten increased, the Committee on Ways and Means, the Judiciary got an increase. They want to increase that. Armed Services, they want to increase that. That's our military. They want to increase military by $100 trillion. Okay. And what was the other one? Y'all? Homeland Security got an increase. So far, everything else, they want to drastically reduce. Increase in statutory debt limit. The Committee on Ways and Means shall submit changes in laws within its jurisdiction. I think this is a subsection of Ways and Means, and they want to increase that by $4 billion. Nope, let me count. $4 trillion. Okay? Yeah, they're reducing the deficit by cutting, hey Shalina, by cutting from other areas to increase drastically in these areas. So far, where they're increasing is armed services, military, the judiciary, they're increasing there, Homeland Security, they're increasing there, and Ways and Means. They're increasing there. I've done education. They're cutting billions from education. I've done energy. They're cutting billions from energy. I've done transportation. They're cutting billions from transportation. And there's some others. There's some others. Okay, we're going into Title III, Reserve Fund. Reserve Fund for Reconciliation legislation in the House of Representatives. In general, in the House of Representatives, the chair of the committee on the budget may revise the allocation of a committee or committees, aggregates, and other appropriate levels in this resolution for any bill or joint resolution considered pursuant to sections 2001 containing the recommendations of one or more committees, or for one or more amendments to a conference report on or amendment between the houses in relation to such a bill or joint resolution by the amounts necessary to accommodate the budgetary effects of the legislation. If the budgetary effects of the legislation comply with the reconciliation instructions under this concurrent resolution. And I want you to understand, this is a proposal. This isn't final. This is a proposal. And so the people who work within these different committees, along with the different agencies and divisions and departments, they'll go back and forth. They'll go back and forth to come down to a final number. But who's the majority in the House? Who's the majority in the House and in the Senate? Who's the president? Who's the president? And so if Donald Trump tells them, well, we got a mandate. The people want us. The people want us to reduce the deficit. We got a mandate. And so the people who he's put in charge of these different areas are going to work together with the Republicans who have the majority, and they're going to come together on a number. You think the number is going to be what's proposed? Okay. So moving on, determination of compliance. For the purposes of this section, compliance with the reconciliation instructions under this concurrent resolution shall be determined by the chair of the committee on the budget of the House of Representatives. Then it goes into policy statements. Policy statement on economic growth. Let me see if we want to read this. Yeah, we want to read this. Findings. Policy statement on economic growth. Findings. The House finds the following. The rate of economic growth has a significant impact on the budget deficits, with the rate of gross domestic product, that's the GDP, increases, projected revenue grows with it, and deficits decline. Conversely, slower GDP growth can lead to lagging revenues and mounting deficits. So this sounds like the section where they're going to explain why they are choosing to make these cuts or these increases. But let's keep going. Federal policies affect the economy's potential to grow and impact economic performance, influencing budgetary outcomes. Consequently, fiscally responsible policies that improve the economy's long-term growth prospects help reduce the size of the budget deficits over a given period. The free market, where individuals pursue their own self-interests, has been responsible for greater advancements in quality of life and generation of wealth than any other form of economic system. Federal policies designed to grow the economy should thus allow market forces to operate unhindered rather than pick winners and losers. Baby, who's the winners and losers? Who's the winners and losers? Because it's not the American people currently. It's the millionaires and billionaires currently. Let me keep reading. Mandatory spending currently accounts for over 70% of the entire federal budget. The deficit for fiscal year 2025 is projected to be $1.9 trillion, or 6.2% of the GDP. That 1.9 trillion is pretty close to what Elon Musk said, right? He was going to cut. This fiscal year, net interest will total $952 billion, or 3.2% of the GDP. Policy on mandatory spending reduction. It is the goal of this current resolution to reduce mandatory spending by $2 trillion over the budget window. So they are lockstep and barrel with Elon Musk, and they are looking to reduce the budget, the deficit, the debt by $2 trillion. Now, where am I? If the combined deficit reduction provided by authorizing committees is below this target, it is the policy of the Committee on the Budget of the House that the instruction provided to the Committee on Ways and Means of the House should be reduced by a commensurate amount to offset the difference. Title 5, Other Matters, Section 5001, Enforcement Filing in the House of Representatives. In the House of Representatives, it is if a concurrent resolution on the budget for fiscal year 2025 is adopted. Remember, this is just a proposal. It has not been adopted. This is what they want. This is what they want to do. They want to cut from every department, every division, except armed services, our military, the judiciary, our legal branch, federal judges, all of that, ways and means, and what was the other one, y'all? What was the other one? Homeland Security. That's it. Cut from everywhere else so that we can increase here, right? And we can then fund those tax cuts that we want to give to the millionaires and billionaires. Where am I? Where am I? Okay. In the House of Representatives, if a concurrent resolution on the budget for fiscal year 2025 is adopted without the appointment of a committee of conference on the disagreeing votes of the two houses with respect to this concurrent resolution on the budget for the purpose of enforcing the Congressional Budget Act of 1974 and applicable rules and requirements set forth in the concurrent resolution on the budget, the allocations provided for in this section shall apply in the House of Representatives in the same manner as if such allocations were in a joint explanatory statement accompanying a conference report on the budget for fiscal year 2025. The chair of the Committee on the Budget of the House of Representatives shall submit a statement for publication in the Congressional Record containing one for the Committee on Appropriations Committee allocations for fiscal year 2025 consistent. This is the rules and how they plan to move forward. For all committees other than the Committee on Appropriations for fiscal year. Okay. Section 5002, budgetary treatment of administrative expenses in the House of the Representative. Let's see. Do we have any more numbers? No, we don't have any more numbers. So let me go back. Go back to the numbers. Baby, this is gonna be some shit. I don't know which. Let me Google it right quick. I want to see which budget Where does the Medicaid, Social Security is not a part of this. Social Security is its own. It's a total separate pot of money. But y'all know they want to get to that. So let me do a quick Google search. Hold on. Now it's being reported that they are looking to cut 1.5 trillion from Medicare and Medicaid and what was the other one? Oh, the Affordable Care Act. But I'm trying to figure. Oh, it's under the Let me go back over here. It's under the Energy Committee on Energy and Commerce. Okay, wait. Let me make sure. Yes. So Medicare, Medicaid, and the Affordable Care Act. Let me put my little thing back. Medicare, Medicaid, and the Affordable Care Act fall under the Committee on Energy and Commerce, and they want to cut from that budget $880 billion. It's here. That's all I wanted. I wanted to know where it fell. Hey, Elrico, I ain't seen you in a minute. Where it fell underneath the budget. It's in here. They are proposing to cut $880 billion from the Energy and Commerce budget, and that includes Medicare, Medicaid, and the Affordable Care Act. It's in here, baby. So again, let's go through what they want to cut, and then I think I'm gonna go and have me a shot of something. Okay, so the Committee on Agriculture, they have to cut $230 billion. Okay? We're going to go with the cuts. They have to cut $230 billion. Education, $330 billion. Okay? Energy and Commerce. Commerce is the Medicaid, Medicare, Affordable Care Act, and there's more in there. There's more in there. $880 billion. They got to cut. They want to cut. They want to cut. Financial services, $1 billion. Natural resources, $1 billion. Oversight and government reform. Oversight and government reform. What Elon Musk is claiming that he's doing. Why we got Elon Musk, I don't know. Because we have an oversight and government reform division, agency, whatever you want to call it. $50 billion they want to reduce the budget by. Transportation, $10 billion. Those are all the cuts. Now, they want to increase armed services by $100 trillion. Homeland Security, $90 billion. Remember, I could be off with my trillion and billion because these zeros, it's a whole lot of zeros, okay? Homeland Security, increase, $90 billion. Yeah, that's billion. The judiciary, increase by $110 billion. Where is the other one? Ways and Means, $4.5 trillion. And then Ways and Means has a subcategory that they want to increase by another $4 trillion. Now, I don't know what's included in the Ways and Means. I don't know how, the departments and divisions and where they all fall underneath these budgets. I'm not well versed on that. I just had to look up to see where the Medicare and Medicaid and Affordable Care Act fell under. That falls underneath the Energy and Commerce section. Somebody say, did you say $100 trillion? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Armed services. No, that's $100 billion. I'm sorry. That's $100 billion. Thank y'all for calling me out. Somebody said, dude, did you say 100 trillion? They want to increase armed services, that's our military, by $100 billion. Thank y'all for calling me out. I told you these numbers, child. So again, I'm going to put a link to this proposed budget on my Blue Sky and on my Threads. Please download it, read it for yourself, do your research, find out what departments you're most interested in and want to know and where it falls and all of that stuff. But I don't trust news media. And so I started seeing the uproar about this on yesterday. And I was like, I'm going to look it up for myself. And so finally this afternoon, I was going to look it up and I decided I'm going to come on here and read it to y'all. Now, the document is 45 pages long, but remember what I said. There's like 15 pages. Ways and Means does taxes, tariffs, and social services. Okay. Thank you, Francine. Francine broke down Ways and Means. Okay. But they are looking to cut a lot of money. My concerns are Energy and Commerce, because that's where Medicare, Medicaid, and the Affordable Care Act falls under. Okay. And my other concern is education. They're cutting from they want to cut from education $330 billion. Did you hear what he said in that press conference? All of you parents who have IEPs, all of you parents who get benefits for your children that are disabled, who get special services because of programs from the federal government. He said it in a press conference the other day. He wants that lady to be confirmed, and then he wants her to basically fall on the sword and put herself out of a job and shut down the Department of Education. And the Department of Education, they want to cut $330 billion from the Department of Education. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is proposed to be getting another contract to provide military armored cyber trucks, $400 million. $500 million he's getting ready to get another government contract. And they are cutting all of these services. All of these services they want to cut. The only proposals that they have to increase are military, the judiciary, Homeland Security, and Ways and Means. It's real. So the news being in an uproar about cutting $880 billion from Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, is true. It's true. And the way they gonna find a way to get into that pot of money for Social Security. They gonna find a way. They've been trying to do it for decades. Republicans have been trying to get their hands on that money for decades. So, as of right now, we are all in the know in what the plan is. We're all in the know. Now, I don't know what the next steps are. People are going to be like, where's the Democrats? The Democrats can't do anything. What are they going to be able to do? They are the minority. Why do you all keep calling on the Democrats? Y'all didn't vote for the Democrats. All of those people on the left, those third partiers, those people who said they weren't going to vote for on the federal level, they were just going to vote on their local levels. They're full of shit. They didn't vote on the local level. If they voted on the local levels, then the Democrats would have the majority. The Democrats would have the majority, and they don't. The Republicans have the majority. The Republicans have the majority. Now, guarantee, Hakeem Jeffries, he's so down with bipartisanship and trying to work together. He gonna try. But them motherfuckers got the majority and they know it. And they standing on arrogance. They're standing on owning the libs, hurting the libs, hurting black and brown people. They didn't want to work with you when y'all had the majority. When the Democrats had the majority, they didn't want to work with y'all asses. I agree. Somebody said he needs to step down. This Hakeem Jeffries is not the right I said this at my live earlier over on YouTube. He is not the leader that we need for this particular moment. I'm not saying he's inept. I'm not saying he's not capable or qualified. I'm saying his temperament is not what we need in the current climate that we are in. We need AOC. We need Jasmine Crockett. I haven't seen anybody else step up the way that those two have. Jasmine is an attorney. Jasmine is hooked up with some of the most beneficial legal minds on the political spectrum. And I feel like she is being held back. I feel like she is being held back. We know AOC is being held back because of old broken hip Nancy Pelosi. Hey, Harmony. Can't stand Nancy. stand her. Nancy, that's another problem with Hakeem Jeffries. Nancy is still calling the shots. He's got the title, but Nancy is still calling the shots. I was hoping that she was leaving, and then maybe we could truly see Hakeem Jeffries come into his own. But as long as she's there, she's still calling the shots, and he's still under her tutelage. He's not able to spread his wings and fly. She still got those wings clipped. I want her to go a fucking way and take James Clyburn with her. Remember James Clyburn? He wanted Joe Biden to pardon Donald Trump. Donald Trump and his sycophants, he called on his sycophants to harass and bully his son. They showed the man's D pics on the House floor just to embarrass him and Joe Biden. Spread lie after degrading lie on that man. And James Clyburn had the fucking audacity to tell Joe Biden to pardon Donald Trump. I was done with him then. He need to go. James Clyburn needs to fucking go. I don't ever want to see James Clyburn no more. I want him gone. Now, Auntie Maxine, I don't know. I said Auntie Maxine needs to go, but Auntie Maxine, she willing to fight. She up there in age, but Auntie Maxine be ready to. If you tell her we get ready to go to blows, she gonna ask when and where. I need to think twice on getting rid of Auntie Maxine. I know she up there in age, but she still got her wits about her. And baby, Auntie Maxine will pop out and show a nigga. Yeah, Auntie Maxine ready to nuck. Oh, if somebody buck, you know what I'm saying? So I think I could give Auntie Maxine a pass. And Auntie Maxine she's not out there in front trying to hold the young ones back. She ready to fight with the young ones. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm good with Auntie Maxine staying. I'm good. But I want Chuck Schumer gone. I wanted Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer gone since the Obama years. We needed them during the Obama years. We needed Nancy Pelosi during the Obama years. She did a thing during the Obama. But once Obama was out of office, I was like, she need to go. Because remember, I got to keep reminding y'all, she didn't want to impeach Donald Trump. She didn't want to do it. Her whiteness came first. She didn't want to impeach Donald Trump. She did not want to do it. It was us. It was us. When it came out that she wasn't looking to impeach Donald Trump, it was us. We got loud. Just like with these Democrats who've been voting along with Republicans to put through these nominations, these nominees of Donald Trump, people started getting loud and calling out Democrats for voting along with those Republicans to put those nominees through. They started listening. Y'all was loud. And since that time, they've been voting no, including John Fetterman. I want his ass gone too. But we stuck with John Fetterman until 2028. He's in the Senate. We stuck with him till 2028. I don't know who's up in 2026. I haven't looked to see who's up in 2026. I haven't gotten that far yet because I'm still stuck in this F around and find out mode, and I'm trying to get out of it so I can get to doing those types of things. I'm having a hard time. I don't care how he dresses. Somebody say he doesn't know how to dress. I don't care if he goes in there in his robe. I don't care. Do right by us, the American people, the people who put you in there. We put you in there for a reason, to fight against these MAGA nuts. Anywho, thank y'all for joining me. Again, check me out over on Blue Sky and on Threads. I just got to notice that I'm running out of battery life and it's probably going to cut off. The new chair, I don't know. I saw his interview that he did with Ben Marcellus, and I'm just not feeling. I wasn't impressed. I'll say that. I wasn't impressed from that interview that he did with Ben Marcellus. And I don't know if he's still finding his groove. He could be still finding his groove and things like that. So I'm going to give him a little leeway, but I wasn't impressed by him with that interview that he did with Ben Marcellus. Y'all going over to the Midas Touch. It's over there on their YouTube channel. And let me know what y'all think. I wasn't impressed. Okay, so check me out on Threads and on Blue Sky. And, oh yeah, I'll put this up over on Substack too, for those of you that follow me over on Substack. I'll put this up over there. And y'all can get the link and y'all can download it and read it for yourself. And don't forget about those 2 seats down in Florida. Follow Kyle PhD here on TikTok. He's also over there on Instagram. He's keeping everybody abreast on what is going on with those 2 House seats, those 2 possible House seats for Democrats. Hey, Mr. Jones X down in Florida. If we can get those 2 seats, this ain't going to happen. This ain't going to happen if we can get those 2 seats down in Florida. It's going to be a battle, though. It's going to be a battle. Okay. All right. I just got my second notice about my battery. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all of the gifts. I'll see y'all later.